In the modern day that we live now, I think one of the hardest parts about starting a business is finding a good quality business name. There have been so many businesses throughout the years, and there have been so many names taken. And so I think it's harder than ever to find a name that is unique, but also descriptive and explains what your business is and can resonate with what your brand is. Because in this process, when I was finding a name, I looked at so many different names, and it was very defeating to find a business name that I liked. Just come to find out that there's another business that's in the same industry or in the same state as me that shares that same name. So in 2025 and beyond, it's going to be a lot harder to find names that stand out. But luckily, there's a lot of things and a lot of tools out there that can help us with our brainstorming process, that can help us find original, unique, and descriptive business names. But before I get into that, I want to say at the very beginning a note that I wish I took more seriously when I was thinking of a business name for my own company. And that is that nobody really cares about your business name. I know that you do, you're the one who's gonna care the most, and you should always love your business, you should love the name, but nobody actually cares all that much. There's people that are gonna share their opinions, whether they like it or not, and that's okay. Like, we're not trying to tailor to the world. We're just trying to find something that helps describe or invokes what your brand and your company stands for. And no, not everyone is going to absolutely love your business name, but is a name ever a factor that is going to stop or hinder someone from buying or taking action into your business? Probably not. For me personally, and I think for the majority of people, the name is not a contributing factor whether I'm going to take action into a business. So I just want to put that out there because that's advice that I wish I took more seriously. In this whole process, I took a lot of time to figure out the name, and I think it was okay that I spent time and made sure that I really felt good about it. If it's hindering you from actually getting started and the reason your business isn't operating or open for business because you don't have a name, then I think you should worry less about it and just find a name that is gonna work. So it's okay for it to take time, but don't let it stop your progress. Now that we got that out of the way, the first thing that I will say when you're thinking about a business name is you need to think again. I've said this before in videos, but you need to think about the long term. You need to think about when this company is established in 5 years and it's known, what does it look like? What is the branding like? What is this business doing? How many people is it reaching? Where is this business operating out of? And then you can kind of work backwards. For example, if you're starting a construction company and you're starting it in Texas, what do you want that company to develop into? Do you want it to be a multinational construction company? Do you want it to be national within the US? Or do you want to just keep it in Texas? Do you want to expand to a couple states like Oklahoma, New Mexico, Louisiana? Thinking ahead, I think does two things. One, it makes things simpler so that when you do grow, you don't have to redo all this work again. You don't need to change your name, you don't need to do any extra paperwork. And the second thing is I think it helps plan your mindset for the growth that you're going to grow into. You're sort of manifesting that I'm going to grow beyond this little county that I'm in into a bigger region. And having worked with brands that have had to change their name as they grew, having seen how it can be a massive challenge for the business as they transition out of necessity rather than their own free will. And I think if you can have your business name be very niche and descriptive of what you're trying to do and accomplish, it can really help give you a kickstart at the beginning. I think about companies like Typeform. That is an incredibly descriptive business name. I know exactly what their product is and how it can benefit me. So take those two things into account. Think about your future, where you want to take your business, but also your niche. And the more specific and niche that you can be, the better off I think your name will be. The next thing that I would consider, and it sort of goes with thinking long term, but envisioning what the brand looks like and how it's portrayed. Think about the touch points you will have with your customer and how they're gonna feel and what the process they're gonna be going through. And when they think of what that experience is like, maybe it's a luxury experience, maybe it's a very simple, easy experience, and they associate that, having a name that matches that allows them to keep that name in their mind a lot easier, so that when they refer your business, it's easy for them to remember what your business name was because it matches what your business is like. So once you've established those things, and if a name isn't naturally coming up, the next part is to brainstorm. Brain dump, just throw all your ideas out on a wall, see if any of them stick. Look at your industry, look at keywords, Google search words, AdWords. And so just to kind of help you think about some of these names, there's a couple that have come to mind. So the first one is descriptive, like Typeform. This is like the best for SEO purposes. If you want to be discovered organically, having a description in your name can be great. When people are looking at the Google search results and they see a name that is exactly what they're looking for, they're going to be more likely to click on it. You have creative. I think about Google. It is a real word, but it had a more creative spin on it, and it really does make sense when you think about what the word means. I also think about Kodak, which is probably my personal favorite business name. I love Kodak, but it's just a made-up word, and now it's associated with what Kodak is. You have acronyms. You think about IBM, a very recognizable company. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what IBM stands for, but I just know what IBM does. You have combined words. This is the one that I chose with Honeycut. I took a word honey and cut and just put them together. You have associative names, so that's like Google again, or Amazon. You think about the Amazon forest and the large selection. Then you have geographical, that's like Texas Bank or Arizona Bank. I'm a citizen of Texas and this is a local bank, and I know it's local because its name is Texas Bank. And that one is of course just great for local marketing, advertising, and SEO purposes, because if someone is looking for a bank in Texas, that is a great option for them. Again, if you do expand, you can always change your name in the future, but that is a fantastic way to hone in on a certain geographical location. And the last one on my list is personal names. I've seen a lot of law firms or therapy practices or whatever it might be, just use a personal name and it works great for them. So think about all those different types of names and how they might benefit your business. Do you want a descriptive name for SEO purposes? Do you want a geographical name for just staying within your area? And is that part of your plan, starting out as a company being called Salt Lake City Construction to becoming Utah Construction to becoming Rocky Mountain Construction? Now, the modern life that we live in, we have other tools that can allow us to look for names that you can use as well. So I use ChatGPT. It's something that maybe you've thought already. If not, consider it. ChatGPT, add your description, bounce back and forth to ChatGPT, have it just spitball a bunch of names. Personally, I didn't have great success with this, and it's probably because my prompts weren't great, but ChatGPT is a very powerful tool, and it's a tool that I want to talk about in the future. But ChatGPT has an ability that it can spitball ideas. You can say, give me 20 names, give me 20 more names, tailor the names more like this. You can really have ChatGPT do a lot of the heavy lifting. Another AI tool that I used was called Looka, a cool small company that basically can generate names. You put in a couple of keywords and descriptions about what you want the name to be like, and then it generates pretty much an unlimited list of names that you can scroll through. And there were a lot of options that I even considered within there. So if you're gonna go the AI route, you could try both of them. I had more success with Looka. I didn't end up choosing my name from it, but it did help spark inspiration. These are a couple ideas that I think can help stir your creativity. At the end of the day, I can't tell you what to name your business. It's up to you. Once you found a name, the next thing is to get feedback from it. Ask people, ask your wife or your husband, ask your friends, send it to them and ask for their honest initial reaction and feedback. People are genius and they have a lot of creative ideas, and they might have the name in their head and you just need to ask them for it. And so don't be afraid to share it with people and to ask what they think a good name would be, because you might find something there. And the great thing again is you can always change your name. And like I said, people really don't care about your business name. I know some people will have opinions about it, and they can have their opinion. You think about your name, your personal name. You didn't choose your name, your parents chose it, unless you changed it yourself because you really didn't like it, but whatever. My name is Alex. That's just my name, that's who I am. And eventually they don't even think about it. I'm just Alex and that's what I am. And that's the same with your business. Your business's name will eventually just be that name, and it's going to be associated with the value that your business adds. The last step in all of this is to make sure that your name is available. So go to the Secretary of State. You can look at other states as well and to see what names are available. And a lot of tools, whether you're using an attorney to help set up your business or you're doing it yourself, have tools in place to help check to make sure that your name is available. But it's always good to know if it's not before you get to that process when it's checking if your name has availability. Now, as a bonus, another thing that I think is important to consider is to think about, is your business online and is a domain important? And it's almost like you need to reverse engineer this when you're thinking about business names. A lot of domains are not available anymore. A lot of them have been picked off. It doesn't have to be the exact domain. It doesn't have to be a .com, because a simple domain that they can remember is important. They remember the business name, they remember how to get to your website. And if your domain's a bunch of extra words and numbers and you're spelling it in a different way, it's gonna be way harder for them to remember how to get to your website. So I hope this helps. Again, I've been rambling a little bit, but I hope my thoughts have been clear enough, and I hope they help get your creative juices flowing as you're thinking of a name. Again, it does not have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a unanimous vote. It just needs to be something that works and helps convey what your business is. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found any value in it, I would greatly appreciate if you could leave it a like, but I will see you next time. Thank you so much and have a good one. Cheers.
you.